I'm Gary Alvarez. Today I'm going to show you how to kickflip.
Kickflips are one of the most sought after tricks in all of skateboarding. Not only are they the foundation for every flip trick you will learn after this, but they also command a very special place in popular culture. Everyone from your 5-year-old nephews and nieces to your 80-year-old grandma has heard of a kickflip, so it's important to learn how to do them with style. There's actually a few different ways that you can kickflip, but today I'm going to show you the way that I do them. Alright, first things first, we're going to talk about foot placement. What I like to do is keep my front foot a few inches behind the front left truck bolt, because I'm goofy foot. If I was regular foot, it'd be the opposite thing. I'd keep it a few inches back behind the front right bolt. And you're gonna see why in a little bit. So first, when I have my foot placement, I do a little dip thing. I try to get a little bit of rebound to see how it's gonna feel. And then I just kind of bend down, crouch real low, pop that thing real hard, just slack it. And then I'm gonna slide all the way until a sweet spot little pocket right here. That's in between the nose and the board right here. You're gonna see it right there, this thing right here. And most people get to that point and you're sliding with your pinky toes. You're gonna be sliding with your pinky, this one, and your ring finger. And once you get to that little pocket, this is where the magic happens. You're supposed to flick it outwards and to the side diagonally. Some people do it down, some people do it forwards. I like doing it diagonally to the side right here in this whatever tuck to the hand, not today formation. So you just kind of like do that at the same time that you're flicking your front foot outwards. You're gonna be picking up your back foot like this. It goes flick and pick up, flick and pick up, flick and pick up. If you're regular foot, same idea, just flick and pick up, flick and pick up. So after you flicked it, you should be seeing your graphic, and both your feet should be right on top of the board graphic, and all you have to do is just wait for the hang time and keep your knees bent. Just keep it bent and wait for the grip tape side to come back around. Here's where something special happens. It's what I like to call the love tap. If you've popped and flicked your board hard enough, your tail is gonna automatically, almost like a magnet, shoot back into your back foot right there. And at this point, your front foot's still out here. All you have to do is just bring it back and lay it down. Roll away like a G. So remember, pop and flick real hard, keep your knees bent, wait for that love tap, and then after that, you're pretty much just done. Just put your front foot down, just roll away clean. You're set to go. All right, remember, so when you're out there doing a thing, first get your feet into the kickflip formation. If you're goofy foot like me, you're gonna point your foot a little bit up to the front left truck bolt. If you're regular foot, you're gonna point your front foot to the front right truck bolt. Then you just bend low and get ready for that blast. Just smack it down like pow. You just pop and slide just like an ollie, just like a regular ollie with your pinky toes. Just slide all the way to that sweet spot pocket. Once you get to the sweet spot pocket, that's the critical point. That's where most people have trouble. So remember, flick your foot diagonally in that whatever not today formation at the same time that you're picking up your back foot. If you don't pick up your back foot, you're not gonna land a kickflip. So just flick and pick up, wait for the graphic to come around. Once you see your board graphic, just keep your knees bent, enjoy the hang time, just hang out there and wait for the love tap. Let it keep flipping, flipping, flipping. This is where the love tap happens. It'll almost automatically shoot back into your back foot like a ball on a string or a magnet, and just let it hit you. It's gonna look good, it's gonna feel good. Just get that love tap. Then you're pretty much done. Just bring your front foot back in, lay it on the grip tape, and just roll away and celebrate like a G. Here it is again, a one fluid slow motion clip. And here it is in real time. Here's the backside view. Pop and slide, flick and pick up, get the love tap, put it back down. And here's a side view from the front. Pop and slide, flick and pick up, get the love tap, put it back down. You could ease your way into a kickflip by doing one of these cannonball flips. It'll get your eyes and feet used to the timing, and it's a pretty simple trick. You could also do these boneless hand flips, but eventually you're going to want to flip it with your feet. It's good practice to just flick the board and try to get it back on the grip tape side. Don't worry about doing it close to you or kicking it far away from you. The point of this exercise is to get your front toes used to the flick formation. You're going to find that it's a very special and precise flick. Not too hard and not too weak. It's got to be that Goldilocks just right spot. Once you get comfortable with flipping your board all the way over, start committing with your back foot. This is the most common way people learn to kickflip. If you can do that, then trade off and try catching it with your front foot. Now you have all the necessary ingredients to just put it together and land your first kickflip. Congrats, now you can take it to the streets where no one can tell you nothing. After you learn how to kickflip, you can take it down a loading dock, you could do it down a set of stairs, you could even do it down a huge bank. After you learn how to kickflip, nobody can tell you what to do. But it seems like you're ready to learn some variations. If you want to beat your friends in a game of skate, you better learn them fakie. You gotta do them switch. You gotta have them down nollie. And then you could do some weird variations like kickflip sex change. Or the less often talked about pretzel flip. Time for a history lesson. In the 1970s, freestyle skateboarders were already doing an early version of a kickflip. Riders would stand parallel to the board and use the side of their foot to tumble the board over back onto the grip tape side. However, in 1982, Rodney Mullen would bring this trick higher into the air by complete accident. Rodney practiced getting his ollies higher and more consistently after learning how to snap them off the ground. On one of his attempts, Rodney spazzed out and kicked the board away from him, but he noticed that the board somehow flipped all the way over back onto its wheels. He then practiced recreating the same effect by flicking his front foot downwards after popping an ollie into the air. After some practice, Rodney Mullen landed the first kickflip on the same day. He named this trick the ollie flip at first, but his peers would popularize it as the magic flip because they couldn't understand how he was rotating the board mid-air, and hence the archetype for street skating was born. Skateboard shapes would see many updates throughout the 1980s, the main types being fish-shaped and hammerhead-shaped used on transition skateboarding like halfpipes and pools. Freestyle skating, however, saw a slow decline in popularity through the end of the decade. A turning point in skate technology occurred in 1989 when Mike Vallely released the infamous Barnyard Deck on Rodney Mullen and Steve Rocco's new company, World Industries. The Barnyard Deck revolutionized skateboarding with its twin tail shape as it consolidated the possibility for switch, fakie, and more technical tricks. The Barnyard Deck was not as refined as the popsicle-shaped decks that came a few years afterwards, but it laid the blueprint for the direction street skateboarding would take in the 1990s. By 1991, companies like Blind, Plan B, and New Deal were releasing boards which looked halfway between a football and a popsicle shape. This is the era where kickflips began to be lifted more off the ground, unlike the down into the side flick characteristic of Rodney Mullen's magic flips. By 1993, pros were beginning to pop and drag their kickflips off the nose, allowing them to maneuver over larger gaps and steeper stair sets. Today, this pop and slide technique has become the industry standard and was made entirely possible by reimagining the board shape. But you know, just because they don't call it a magic flip anymore doesn't mean it won't still feel magical after you land your first one. So pop it, flick it, and catch it like a fish jumping out of water, and then ride off into the sunset like a boss.